Procrastination. That's a good one, front and center. We've got to attack procrastination because it's so insidious. It eats up such large chunks of your life and leaves you in a small corner. Putting it off, delaying, letting it slide. Now, I'm one of the best to attack procrastination because I confess to being one of the all-time great procrastinators. I've done a lot of things, but I've put a lot of things off. Procrastination. I am so good, I could teach it. Procrastination. I can show you how to do it so it don't show. I mean, I'm so good. I'm so good. But I also know the pain of procrastination. I also know the regret that comes from procrastination. I can also show you pieces of my life missing, never to be repaired, because I let it slide. Now see, if we all studied our own lives, and we're trying to help somebody with this insidious disease of procrastination and putting it off, front and center, we use ourselves as best executive because you feel the strongest about your own experiences and your own emotions. Do you think you could help somebody in life and coming up with the essence of the emotion and the experience to try to illustrate to somebody how insidious it can become and how devastating it can leave your life and what will be missing if you let it slide? That's what we call learning to attack the problem. Now, underline the word attack. It's very important to go after the insidious. The great leader of the Christian says, "The things I once hated I now love. The things I once loved I now hate." It's so important to incorporate both love and hate in the same conversation. Now, let me give you the dilemma. This stuff isn't easy. It's so easy to be careless with words and get the wrong reaction. What if you meant to say, "What's troubling you?" and instead you said, "What's wrong with you?" Can you imagine the difference? Just the mistake of one small word means all the difference in the world in the kind of reaction that you get. But here's the dilemma.
All right, let me know, what personal development have you already, not as we say in the South sometimes. Sometimes in the South they say fixing to. Fixing to. Not what professional development you fixing to listen to. But tell me already, at this time of the evening, what personal development have you already listened to? What have you done already? Because it is afternoon. If you are a millionaire or you have aspirations of becoming a millionaire, what have you put in your millionaire mind already? If you have a business, what business activities, not motivational activities, not activities on your personal Facebook page where you just share somebody else's motivational opinion. What have you done motivational or business related already? Let me fix this camera. What have you already done business related? Let me switch back to the other camera. What business building skill? All right, thank you, Dr. Let me switch my cameras just to keep moving. Thank you, Dr. Turner. She said she listened to Jim Rohn already, and Brian Bean, thank you. I share that with my group, and I shouldn't have to share to people that have their own business how to build their business, but I do it because you lead by example. I shared to my group something from Mr. Bean myself this morning, Dr. Turner. She said she's already listened to some of Jim Rohn today. But listen. If you want to be successful in business, you have to do specific business building activities, and that first starts with your mind. And then not sharing somebody else's profile on your social media. Not sharing somebody else's motivational words, but how about making a video of your own? Or how about making an original post of your own to tell people, hey, I have a solution to help you. I have a solution to help you in these financial down times. And guess what? That's not what you want to do, fine. But guess what? 2 millionaires, 2 millionaires, 2 millionaires, you're welcome, beautiful. 2 millionaires saw the vision. The Bible says to write the vision and to make it plain so the reader that reads it takes it and run. That's why no one is, running to you, because you don't have a vision. You're not making it plain, and you don't communicate that vision on a daily basis. 2 millionaires join the business. One, I have two businesses actually, but one of the businesses that help people try to fix my necklace. I have a business that help people accumulate silver. Accumulate silver. I believe silver is the plan for the middle class, not gold. Gold is unfortunately not affordable for most middle class. Because silver is going to be used to reset this currency system. Ancient Egyptians preferred silver over gold. And I decided, instead of going to SD Bullion or AmpMex, any of these websites, to get with the company. People, now it's time to monetize everything. Monetize everything. To get with the company that upon and put my silver on auto ship, and that company also pays me residual income in return. We are in a recession and high inflation, people, and this is the time to get rich. I want you all to put in the comment, I want you to hashtag rich. And I feel sorry for the people who do not have a channel or a business for God to bless them in during this time. For God to give you the wealth transfer in. You can't be claiming wealth transfer if you're not doing wealth transfer activities. If you don't have a channel in which that wealth transfer can flow through. People, you cannot get wealthy, rich and wealthy on a job. You can't. You can make a living. You can make a living on a job. But you cannot prep for your fortune, not with a job. Listen, your boss will never pay you enough to live next to him or her. Your supervisor, your boss, the CEO of that company, if you're in education, the superintendent of education, of the state of education, they will never pay you enough to live next to them. Your job will never pay you enough, people, if you don't have tax strategies in place. I don't care if you're a six-figure income earners. There are six-figure income earners right now in the state of California and other states who are living paycheck to paycheck, that are broke. And no, it's not because of the management of their money, as poor people would like to think. And when I'm saying poor, I'm not saying like homeless poor, but usually when you tell people that make under six figures, that six-figure income earners are living paycheck to paycheck, they're highly opinionated, even though they have never experienced, right? But they're highly opinionated of why these people live paycheck to paycheck, even earning six figures, and they will come with the opinion that it's not because of money management. But if you ask a six-figure income earner why a person is not making six figures, they will have an opinion also, that you don't have money management and you don't want to develop your skills or your skill set to earn the money that they're making. So instead of just elaborating on opinions and thoughts and conclusion, let's talk about solutions. Solutions. I've been telling you all about the business, whether you're an employee or entrepreneur. 2 millionaires, a young millionaire saw the vision. A millennial millionaire, a digital millionaire saw the vision, joined the business, and guess what? It is only $149. But these millionaires saw how $149 investment can increase their millionaire status. They saw the compensation plan. They saw how they can get up to $8,500 of residual income, and that inspired two millionaires. My question to you: if you're middle class or upper middle class, which is six-figure income earner, and then there's middle class, then you should be inspired as well. When millionaires see the vision, right? You should do what millionaires are doing if you ever want to have the vision to be one of them. I'm having a private Zoom tonight hosting it, but if you can't attend the private Zoom, text the keyword cash flow to 254-788-1144. What it helps people do is double the money that they're already making, increase their credit scores, and get immediate discount on their household or business utility bills or every other expenses. See, people, you need to know right now how to position yourself for what the government will pay you for. You need to know if you earn a paycheck, how adding a certain type of, not every type of 1099s are created equally. Some 1099 employees are Uber drivers. For example, some 1099 employees are real estate salesmen or salespersons. And some 1099s make six figures, some don't. I'm not talking about a 1099 independent contractual worker. I'm talking about a 1099 home-based business with 470 tax deduction that if you have a paycheck, you can position yourself in 24 hours, because once you attach this 1099 to your paycheck, you reduce your federal income taxes that's taken out of your paycheck, and you get yourself an instant pay raise within 24 hours. Today is Wednesday. By Friday, you can get more money out your paycheck. Now is a better time. It's the best time to get more money out of your paycheck than ever, because the report released today that inflation has risen 9.1%. If you're an entrepreneur, six figures, you want to increase your residual passive income and your cash flow, and you want to add more tax credits. So you won't be breaking even, right? Or so you will break even. Most big money earners, they're praying for a way just not to pay thousands back to the IR, to the S. I have a solution. You want to make money right now in this inflation and recession, then have solutions to people problems, specifically financial problems. That you know the two most common problems out of every person, everybody in the world is money and health. Money and health. Usually, if the money problem is resolved, if they are healthy, then they have peace. Now, I'm not saying other things cannot happen in their lives, like family issues or family deaths or um, unexpected things, right? Ecclesiastes says life happens to us all, and it does. But the two most common problems when you talk to someone, either it's going to deal with their finances or their health status. Right? That's why I'm on my way to the gym right now. So let's look into this economy, right? Because you know that it takes money to even have good health. If you don't believe that, go to the Whole Foods and try to shop for healthier food. Go to your gym and tell them you don't have the money to pay for a gym membership and see if they give it to you for free. No. Money helps with your health as well. It helps you have access to the best of the medical doctors or services that you can have. So let's get into this. Inflation hits a new 4-decade number 4. You all know what the number 4 is. Number 4 is the number of the earth. It's God's number 4 events that happen, that gives you directions and signs of the earth realm. Number 4, by the fourth day in the book of Genesis in the Bible, light was created, right? The greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night. Light was created, life was created. Seed was now able to be bearing fruit for life, for man to eat and animals to eat, created later on. Liquid, liquid was created, right? Oceans, the seas, liquid, and land. Land was created out by the fourth day. You have your four directions of the globe: north, south, east, and west. The four animals represented on the angel's face. I can't even think of those angels. They had an eagle face, an ox face, a lion. What was that fourth angel? What was that fourth face? People. I don't know, but I'm not gonna get into Bible numerology much here. But the number four, 4 decades, four north, south, east, and west represents a directional change. Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, created those four substance things: light, liquid, land, life, by the fourth day. So, United States inflation rose last month from the year before, the highest rate, and more. And 4 decades, prices climbed throughout the economy. Consumer price index rose 9.1% in the last 12 months, ended in June, the fastest pace since November 1981. The Labor Department said on Wednesday that the June increase also eclipsed, or it surpassed May 8.6% rate, which led the Federal Reserve officials to shift a faster pace. And the report keeps, and guess what, people? We have not even had the Fed meeting. The Fed meeting has not even happened yet. So what do you think they're going to do in the attempt in the Fed meeting that's scheduled to happen within a couple of days to stop inflation? They're going to raise interest rates, which is going to make it harder and more difficult for middle class to be able to borrow and leverage money to get the assets that's going to go on sale when depression comes in. Going to make it more harder and difficult for the middle class to be able to leverage debt when these housing market prices crash, right, or take a collapse, whichever one would happen. Dave Ramsey says he don't believe a crash will happen, but rather a collapse. Either way it go, they're not going to be overpriced. They're already dropping in price. See, the best time to buy a home, or better yet, the best time to purchase multi-units or homes so you can be a landlord and you can have assets so you can rent out to others and create cash flow is during the lowest times. I don't care what inflation. I don't care what your interest rate reflect. I don't care what the interest rate reflect. I would rather, for example, purchase a home with a 6% mortgage that's $35,000 cheaper for me upfront off the asking price than to get a 2% mortgage and then pay $35,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 upfront more for the house than what I could get in a couple of months or maybe a year or two later. Why is that? Because you're just paying a more expensive price upfront. See, what people don't know is that with the right, and this is a part of the cash flow keyword that I have text in front of you, right? Because most people don't know that even at a 2% interest rate, you're going to pay 78% back in interest still, right? So now you have to know how to make principal only applied payments towards a house, right? Once you make principal applied payments, and some mortgage companies that you have your home finance may not allow this. For example, I was with JP Morgan and Chase, and they sold my mortgage. Now I am able to do that. But JP Morgan and Chase, they would not allow me to make principal only payments. Now I can. And I have built up such substantial equity in my house by doing it. hmm And so once you do that, people, right, even testing cash flow, you'll get this mathematic tool that'll help you know exactly how to pay off your house in 5 to 7 years, and exactly how much you will need to apply towards the principal. Does not even matter if you have a 6% interest rate. You can still pay less back by using this strategy with someone that has 2%. But this is what I will tell you, right? That if you don't have a plan to do that, it doesn't matter if the interest rate is 2% or 3%. After 10, 12 years, you won't even pay a third of the principal if you don't understand, if you don't have access to this financial education. Right? If you don't have access to these financial education. And so you typically pay 2 to 3 times the value, you typically pay 2 to 3 times over the amount of the loan. And so what cash flow does, even in this crazy economy, is it helps you keep about 80 to 100%, especially if you have a job and you get paid through a paycheck, of the money that you are already making. 80 to 100%, because most people don't know that most Americans right now are in the 25% tax bracket. The average American only uses 75% of their purchasing power or their buying power. Why? Because of taxes. So items you buy and services you pay for are paid with the dollars that are only, or that you can only use about 75% of their potential, because you are in a 25% tax bracket. And now inflation just added another 9% of eating up every dollar that you make. So with the cost of goods and services going higher, people taxes are not going to go lower. So what you keep, what you bring home out of your paycheck, is getting smaller and smaller. But now, through these strategies that these millionaires just joined within the last 72 hours are using, you can get up to 90% or 100% of every dollar that you earn. That's if you're an entrepreneur, small business owner, or if you have a job. Right? So, people having more of the money that you make will help you have more investing numbers in this inflation, and it will give you a plan. It will give you a plan to work from home, to work if you're using internet anyway. Now these things are tax write-off. Your cell phone, things that was once expensive are now tax deductible. A wave of layoff is coming to the United States as well. Firms have announced cuts on Coinbase, Tesla. I just brought to you all yesterday where Gap, right? Gap is saying they're laying off. The biggest mortgage lender out of California is laying off. Banks are lowering off mortgage lending departments. So a wave of layoffs is sweeping across the United States. And people, you would really be happy about recession, because this is the time period that the rich get richer if you know how to play the game. Again, I tell people all the time we are playing chess, not checkers, not bingo, because the government is playing poker. And so layoffs are sweeping across American businesses. Pelton has already laid off thousands of employees this year. Online car dealer Carvana slash 12% of its workforce. Even traditional layoff resistant companies like Netflix are making cuts. Now, real estate brokerage are cutting hundreds of jobs. Business growth is slowing while labor costs are increasing. The combination is causing American companies across a variety of industries to slash head count. I stated to you all that this reset is different. It's going to make 2008 recession looks like a flesh wound, a little cut on your skin, because this is ushering in artificial intelligence, AI, machines and robots to replace the jobs that human beings and people were doing by the masses. This article says prepare for a recession, don't buy a car now. Americans in an economy say the United States will go into recession late this year. If it has not already done so, oil price increase means high gasoline and high home fuel prices. People may be able to use less heating oil by keeping the thermostat setting low, or they may drive less. High food costs are also harder to combat. Americans will look at their largest expense to cut costs substantially. Usually, these two items that cost humans or people the most are homes and cars. People are unlikely to move to improve their financial conditions. This is when someone told me that, well, listen, if the housing market crash, people just, they just got to stay in their house for 10 years and don't move. Now that's great if you don't lose a job in your area and no one else is offering you a job. But what if you lose your job and you have to relocate? Or what if your family member or mother or father becomes sick and you want to relocate to take care of them? Now you're upside down in your loan, you can't sell your house, and now, with an existing house on your credit, you can't purchase a new one. So if you try to rent it out, if you're upside down on your loan and mortgage, you may not be able to rent it out for the price that you're paying back for your mortgage. So you might have to cut the loss between the rent, what the renter will pay, and what you're paying out for your mortgage payment, and relocate elsewhere and try to have the upkeep of two payments of either rent and mortgage, because maybe you don't purchase another house now because your credit reflects you already have a home and you may have to rent elsewhere. So right now they're saying supply chain problems have left manufacturers and dealers with low inventory. This has driven the car prices higher. When people cannot buy new cars, they often turn to used ones, but the prices of these have gone up as well. Shrinking supply. I am very fortunate to have two vehicles with no note during this time. Being debt free, especially where vehicle repossessions are increasing. And this is why cash flow does not only help you increase your cash flow and get thousands back and earn up to $8,500 a day in residual income, and why millionaires are now taking advantage of this home-based business, because financial services and recessions and depressions, they thrive. If you want to try to sell a pill that turns people from a beast into a beauty and a recession depression, go ahead. And my mentor said this last night, right? He said, why do you think people that selling weight loss, All of these other, MLM network marketing companies, now they're adding things like crypto trading and forex trading, and that doesn't even go into alignment or synergy with one another, right? If you visit a grocery store, they may have a check exchange place or a check cashing component, a pharmaceutical component within that, where they also sell health items and vitamins and shakes and things as well. So having a pharmaceutical department makes sense. They also take and receive your money for groceries. So having a money exchange or a check cashing place or a way to wire money in a grocery store makes sense. What doesn't make sense to me, if you are a weight loss company, for example, and you're now teaching people to trade forex or crypto at the same time. That doesn't go right. But they're trying to keep their retention because they know people are looking for financial services answers over a weight loss shake or a diet pill or a pill that turns you from a beast into a beauty. They know people are not looking for traveling as much. So now let's give them ways to help them financially, right? And let me tell you something, people, you don't want negative credit in a negative economy. Let's see what Ree says. Ree and KC. Hey, Ree. Ree says, good afternoon, Queen. I am a total loss adjuster. It's sad to see people upside down on loans. Dealerships are making payday markups 30%. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Are you seeing already? Has it started yet? Any upside down on loans as it relates to mortgages? As it relates to mortgages? And this is what I tell people, right? You can dispute me on this and I'll welcome the conversation. If you're middle class, you should not be having any type of reserve account or infinite banking program that they're telling you to become your own bank. If you're middle class, just that's not for you. See, infinite banking, becoming your own bank, borrowing against yourself are for people that have already a substantial amount of savings that they're losing money by just sitting in the banks, or they can already position six figures to transfer to that account. So spending out $300, $400, $500 on cash flowing on these accounts for middle class, in my opinion, is not something you should do, because a lot of times you're being sold on the concept that this money is tax free. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? It is tax free, but how much will it be worth if it takes you 20 and 30 years before you can fully see the surrender value of that policy develop? So how much is it really worth? How much is $20,000, $30,000 worth 20, 30 years from now? So yes, you might have tax-free income. A 401k is worse because it's tax deferred, which means they just tax you when it's time, on the lump sum that's left that you accumulated by putting money in the 401k. But even with tax-free income, putting in $500 a month for 30 years, that will pay you out between the ages of 70 to 95, right? You have to use inflation. You're getting tomorrow's money 8 to 10 years down the road. And even with that being tax-free, it's still the value money. So what I tell people, especially if you're middle class, if you took that same amount, yes, I know an insurance salesman will tell you, well, Walt Disney used it and What's the other famous? Walt Disney used it. J.C. Penney used it during the Depression. That's how they got their JC. That's how he got his J.C. Penney chains. Stores. But they had millions to roll over into that. If you don't have six figures to roll over into a reserve account or these insurance policies, some of them call them something else, but it's the same thing. It's infinite banking and bank on yourself. Tax-free money on the value money is not a big thing. And I had some people that want to debate with me about whether it's a better concept for the middle class, right? It's whether this is a better investment for the middle class than putting three to five, $400 a month in a reserve account or infinite banking model. Not all cryptocurrencies are created equal, just like not all stock markets are created equal. You have good stocks and you have some penny stocks. Who does this say? Wow, I can't see. See, it just show me Facebook user, but it doesn't show me your name. I don't know why my live stream does this sometimes. It won't show me it, but hey, Facebook user. And I'm just trying to educate people on, and then a lot of people don't know about these accounts that you don't get the cash value is already built into the benefits. Again, if you don't use the cash value while you're living, that money goes away if you die. So only a portion of the cash value is built into the death benefits. Oh, I see who said it now. I'm just trying to help, Jason. I'm just trying to help people how middle class can really become wealthy. So what you do if you're middle class and you have thousands, what you can do, because I don't give financial advice, I give financial education, is that you can learn these blue chip cryptocurrencies, not these junk cryptos. And you can put hundreds into that, and really in 3 to 5 years, with interest rates that'll be 30% on some things, which I don't know how in the world Celsius crypto is 30%. But that's the volatile of cryptocurrencies right now. Because Celsius was that exchange that people took out loans against their cryptocurrency, and they did not allow them to pull those cryptos out. But people, that's just like having a repossession of a car, or using a vehicle or a house as as collateral when you take out a loan. If you don't pay that loan back, they come get the house and come get the vehicle. And so when a lot of people say, this is a riskless investment, people, there is no such things as any investment. You can invest in real estate, which is tangible asset, which is God's creation. And there's no such thing as a risk-free investment. There's no such thing. So what you do is you educate yourself to not buy these pump and dump cryptos. Just like if you watch Wolf of Wall Street, you don't buy these pump and dump penny stocks. Wolf of Wall Street, if you haven't watched it, go watch the Wolf of Wall Street. He was selling these penny junk stocks and telling people on the phone that this big company is backing up this stock and it's a penny stock. And then you'll see the company was a shack house, and how he was pumping that. And right now you have silver. Go to queenofcoinsilver.com. People below 30 cents. Some people like tangible assets. You put $200 to $300 in silver and put it on auto ship, which I tell people, put your wealth on auto ship. And you can earn residual income. Now for my network marketers, if you want to know, it's a binary compensation plan that comes with it, and it's an affiliate, so it's not the same thing as the home-based business. Both of them have different reasons, but when a binary, you get the spillover. But there are some people right now that don't have the money they need to invest in crypto or silver, and they have bad credit. And you have a job, or you have a small business, or you're 1099, and you can get your cash flow up. But once your cash flow get up, I say silver and cryptos, blue chip crypto stocks are the best ones, right? Um, Meek says, good info. I'm trying to educate my friends and family. Thank you, Meek. What a beautiful picture. Um, okay, Ree says she just had an auto. My sister's in mortgage. Yeah, I saw that, Ree. And Ree, test cash flow. Let's be business partners. People are going to need their credit fixed. You have and if your sister is in mortgage, tell her test cash flow. We got millionaires coming over here to help people have residual income. I earn now more passively from being in this business. It's approaching 2 years now. From 2 years, because I made the decision to test cash flow 2 years ago. 2 years, then I made 16 years working full time in my job. Right? 2 years could get you that passive residual income, and you don't have to quit your job. I'm not even suggesting you quit your job, right? What I am suggesting is you get the maximum amount of money that you can get out of your paycheck, because most people overpay in taxes out of their paycheck, and virtually everyone, y'all, returning text now. Virtually everyone on my team that has joined receive at minimum $200 increase out of their paycheck. And if $200 won't help you with 9.1% inflation at an historical high, no one's job is safe during this time. And a lot of people just need the extra money to make up to offset with gas prices. And gas, even in my area, has decreased about 40 cents. But let me tell you something, when the Fed meets, let's talk about that. Hello, Curtis. My moderator is in. I got my Make Wealth Real team in. Y'all, I'm feeling good today. You all don't know how joyous it make me feel. And for you all and my subscribers, just to come in and talk to Queen and talk to me. Because people, I'm telling you, I'm not doom and gloom. I'm just reporting the facts. But I promise you, there's so many middle class people that when they get their cash flow up, once they get their silver up, and once they get their crypto up, certain cryptos, certain ones. The reason why I don't talk about the S&P 500 either is because over a 20-year period, when you include inflation, the S&P 500 has about a 6% return, right? So I really don't talk about. And then for people that's in MWR with me, as Brian Bean told us, people say they earn interest on stock. He said, he said, no, what they mean is they're earning dividends. And what he meant by that is you're not really earning interest on a stock, you're earning dividends. That means you're earning a certain percent of payout from the company's success. So with the S&P 500, right, then you on 20 years or 8 to 10 years, right, that you only get about, when it includes inflation, about 6% return. Right, about 6% return. And so, people, there's so much better returns that you can get when this wealth transfer. Inflation has jumped again in June, persistent climb in gas, food, and rent costs, notching another 40-year high, solidifying the Federal Reserve plans for another big rate hike this month, right? So with that being said, people, another big rate hike. Get your credit fixed ASAP. You need that credit fixed like yesterday, because it's going to make it harder and more difficult for the middle class to leverage debt now to acquire assets. And if you can't use debt you can't use the bank's money or other people's money. you're going to have positive cash flow. Because you know what? I know I was saying I was expecting crypto to crash, but they're having a meeting in October to regulate cryptocurrency. That could go either way. You can really see some people become crypto millionaires by the end of 2022 with this meeting that's going on. Again, but you got to be in the right cryptos. You can't be in these, pump and dump things and these scams. So, again, you can text that number crypto on the screen if you want a crypto education. I have a crypto education course for you as well. The annual rate of 8.6% economies and inflation will rise 8.8%. So people, the Fed's plans to raise its key interest rate by a healthy 0.75% for the straight month. They raised it last month by 0.75%. The S&P 500 fell by 37 points, roughly 1%, right? And so that's it. You're, and I want you all to make this affirmation and have this mindset that today you begin a new life. Today you begin a new life. That today you will shed old skin, old belief system, old scars that you suffered from bruises and failures of wounds of mediocrity. Today you are born a new birthplace in a vineyard that has fruit for all. Jim Rohn said this quote, and I reposted this quote on my Facebook because I saw my friend posted it, that people do not have fruit or bear fruit, or they lack fruit, or they lack assets. I'll say it, that way, because of discipline. But I would include because of discipline, a lack of discipline, and a lack of knowledge, because the Bible says people perish. That means they cast off with all restraints because of lack of knowledge. But today you can start a new birthplace in a vineyard where there is fruit for all. People, the universe, this economy has enough gold, silver, and land. It has enough wealth for everyone. So today, choose to pluck the grapes of wisdom from the tallest and fullest vines of the vineyard. For these were planted by the wisest of your profession, who come before you, generation upon generation. Again, today, begin a new life. Shed back the old skin, shed back the old mindset. Do not pass on generational poverty, pass on generational wealth. Have some physical money in your possession for your children or your great-grandchildren. There are some people who worked all their lives and never held money in their hand. They've only held a fake fiat monopoly paper printed dollar or cash. Hold real money in your hand. Real money is measured by weight, not by numbers. People, if you're going to work hard, work smart too. Robert Kiyosaki said it this way. Let me pull up his tweet. He's telling people to buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin. The reason why I don't really emphasize silver, just like I don't really emphasize Bitcoin, because for the most middle class people, it's overpriced. Most middle class people don't have $19,000 to buy one whole Bitcoin. And most middle class people don't have $1,800 an ounce to buy an ounce of gold, at $1,800 to buy a significant amount of gold. That when this reset happened, because gold and silver is real money, so when this reset happened and we changed from physical currency to digital, gold and silver will be used to reset the currency system. But silver is twofold. He said dollar is dying, Silver is $20. Best Buy for future security. Everyone can afford $20, especially with free fake money. And if you are already a network marketer and you understand the power of having a compensation plan where you can get spillover from just building two legs, right? You can do this and you can acquire real wealth, very inexpensive, right? So that's the backup plan, and I know a lot of times you hear the things where just focus on one thing, and I agree that I don't believe people should double dabble in several different things if you're not successful in one, but I do want you to understand that whether you want to share this with other people or not, you can put this wealth on autopilot. And if you understand the language of network marketing, you understand the power of having um, a bilingual compensation plan with just two legs and having spillover, right? To help you, because what I do also is when I share with other people, I just take the money that's in the account and get more silver. So I get free silver that way, right? And having spillover, it's a great thing. So I'm signing out. It's I'm kind of dreading going to the gym because they cannot get the parts for the air conditioning, and we don't have air in there. The air conditioning unit is out. It's little air, but it is hot. But I'm going anyway. I'm not going to stay for long. But they can't because of the shipping issues that they can't get the parts in to fix the air condition. So people, let me tell you, don't have a get rich plan and you don't have positive cash flow. Don't hustle backwards. You don't even need a side hustle. You don't even need a second job. You just need one good system to help you get your credit fixed, to double the money, that the income that you're already making. And you need a debt elimination plan. So not only do you keep about 80% of the money that you're making, because right now the government is taking 30% on top. Then you have your insurances that come out your paycheck, whether it's health, vision. Then you have active income, and with these layoffs coming, you should definitely look into just putting a couple of hours a week, having a work from home opportunity. Definitely look into blue chips and get your crypto education, and definitely look into getting silver. And if you're a network marketer, you understand the power of spillover and a compensation plan that you only have to build two legs, so that can be to your advantage. Also, the cash flow program comes with a debt elimination program. A lot of people need to know that, because you need to have that plan where putting interest bearing and paying principal only apply to your house can help you pay off that mortgage in 5 to 7 years. And you're actually going to have the cash flow to do that. Knowing how to apply principal to pay off your biggest expense that's financed, which is a mortgage, in 5 to 7 years, does no good if you don't have the extra cash flow to implement it. So I'll help you find cash flow. Again, whether you already have your traditional business or you have a traditional job, it has the math equations built in to help you systematically do that. Again, Habakkuk says, without vision, Habakkuk 2:2, people perish. You got to have a vision. You got to have the plan. I know Dave Ramsey teaches a debt snowball, but Dave Ramsey is a good place to start, but it should not be if you really have a mindset to become rich, if you have a mindset that you want to be rich, if you want to shift from middle class to millionaires, Dave Ramsey could be a good start for you, but it should not be your finish. because investing in mutual funds and index is just not going to do it. The interest return on that is so low. And again, people having assets right now, when central banks switch over to digital currency, I'm not even sure if you're going to be able to use their currency to invest in silver and crypto. And we have about 5 months left in the year. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to even invest in crypto because the government is going to tell you what you can and cannot purchase with their central bank's digital currencies. So cash flow includes the cash flow, residual passive income, and for your financial services and the debt elimination software that enables you to reduce your interest in the fastest mathematical equations possible. It's just like a banking algorithm that works just like a financial GPS. It finds the shortest possible path on a map, and this software program makes it possible for you to pay off a 30 or even 15-year mortgage in a third of the time. So that's testing cash flow. Queen of Coins is for silver, to get stack silver too. You're welcome. And again, if you want to know about crypto education, invest in crypto, you don't know how to store it on your Chrome wallet, you just think you don't have a clue about what cryptos are real, which ones are fake, text crypto to 331-444-5556. I almost forgot the number. And that'll give you the crypto education you need because you definitely don't want these Ponzi scheme cryptos. You want the blue chip cryptos. And that's how you can turn hundreds into thousands and thousands into millions. Stacking silver is going to be an advantage too because it's both industrial use and monetary use. In 2011, JP Morgan, people hoarded over 350 million ounces of silver. That's how important silver is. Thank you for the cash app, Arisha. Thank you. Thank you. Peace and blessings upon you. And according to Deuteronomy 1:11, I pray that your giving increases 1,000 times more by the God of our ancestors, right? That you will increase 1,000 times more. And guess what? That scripture is twofold. Increase you and bless you. Hey, let me show you all this real quick. Arisha, I looked at my phone. I want to share with you this quote, and we're logging off. I'm logging off. We're gonna get in this hot gym, right? But it is by Bill Gates. This quote is by Bill Gates. And let me tell you, people, the greatest networker in the world, which was named, some people say Jesus, right? Some people say Yeshua, because the letter J is not that old. Most people know by the name of Jesus. However, the greatest networker had 12 disciples. One was unjust, at any rate. That left him with 11, and he changed the world. We know Judas was his treasurer. A broke person don't need a treasurer, so we know Jesus was not broke. And Judas went and committed suicide and guess what he sold Jesus for? He didn't sell him for gold. No. Silver. Do you have God's money in this great reset? But Bill Gates made this quote, and I'm trying to find it, and I'm going to share it with you. Here we go. Bill Gates made this quote. 11 is the magic number of increase. If you're not familiar with Deuteronomy 1:11, get familiar with it. Because giving is your first step in receiving. Therefore, your giving makes you rich. There's no secret, Bill Gates says. I worked really hard on my idea to get it as good as I could, and I knocked on the door. I knocked on door after door. Out of 1,200 people, guess how many said yes? For my network marketers, go for the nose. Get through the numbers. He said 11 said yes, and those 11 made me a millionaire. I am confessing for everyone that's giving me $11, 11 It's giving me $1,111. It's giving me $111.11. It's giving me $5, $10, whatever your super chat is. But if you tied into the 1111, because the Bible does teaches us that if you sow sparingly, you receive sparingly, and that but if you give bountifully, you receive bountifully. So I can't, 1,000 times increase on $11 is still a big return, right? But there's some people that's, for example, that's giving $1,111 and receive exactly 11.1 acres of land that they did not know that their family member was leaving them at their death, and that they would just receive this free land, 11.1 acres. People, these testimonies are have been humbling and both but praising and praiseworthy to God at the same time. And people, 11 made him a millionaire. I'm professing that everyone has ever given to me under those auspices. That if, because faith without works are dead, you make the right moves, you make the right investments, and you make the divine connections, like 1 Kings 17. There was the divine feminine and the divine masculine that met the widow woman when she met Elijah. She had a very little. And as long as Elijah stayed with her in her house, in a food famine, she was about to cook her last meal and die. She had 2 sticks. 2 is symbolic, 2 of touching and agreeing for her and her son. And Elijah blessed the portion she had, the little that she gave him, through the divine masculine and divine feminine meeting and divine connections. Be in divine connections in this season. Get your finances together and watch how God can increase the little that you have. You all, let's get rich. I'm excited. I'm excited because this wealth transfer, it's the biggest one that this generation has ever seen. Right? It's the biggest. This is the biggest wealth transfer. This is the time where gold and silver is going to be used from 1930s, when people gold and silver was taken from them from the government. The government made it illegal for you to have gold. Made it illegal for people to have God's money, and you have free access to get it right now. So don't let your mindset push you into further poverty. Let your mindset push you in prosperity. Let your mindset know this is the greatest wealth transfer. And for some, not all, and I'm not speaking this hypothetically for people. I don't want you to tell me you received something and you're not taking the actions to be receptive. I received. No. Your credit score is low. Your cash flow is low. You're not trying to get a financial education. You're not trying to invest in the investments that's going to be a part of the Great Reset. So you can't receive something that you won't invest in. You can't go out and tell the land that I want food from a seed that you have not sown. And there are supernatural, as some people call it, blessings. Supernatural is not in the Bible, but I get what they're saying. That comes from God. I get it. But in Luke 16, it tells that there's 2 economic systems. And people, you got to be wise in both. He says the children of the world are wiser than the children of the light. God's economy will sustain you. It will. But everyone that God said was rich and wealthy in the Bible had a business. They did not have a job. And it gave you the assets. King Solomon had gold, more gold. He collected also 666 ounces of gold yearly. Abraham was very rich. And it didn't say he was spiritually rich. It said he was very rich, not just rich. That means he was rich. in gold, silver, livestock, and land. So if you cannot afford land, God definitely can give it to you through his favor. He can. But what are you going to have what you need to make that land cash flow? Are you going to have the assets that you need to increase your little to a whole lot? Are you using your cash flows in the areas, assets that are cheap right now? That are cheap. Crypto, there's certain cryptocurrency that's going to be using this reset that's under $1. Again, silver, about $25 an ounce right now. Very inexpensive assets. I think silver is probably going to go probably up to $1,600 an ounce because they need it for industrial use too. They're going to start making more electronic vehicles. They're going to need it for Tesla, who's laying off right now, for catalytic converters, for RFID chips, for this 5G Wi-Fi technology. Silver, certain cryptos, even if you got crops, it's going to escalate. And for the middle class, this is really your chance to become multimillionaires. Hey, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day. Also, I'm doing my private Zoom tonight, so text link to 254-788-1144. It's a private meeting that I'm having. So if you're a visual person, you can see the PowerPoints about what I'm talking about, the business that the two millionaires are investing in. But people, whatever you do, take your extra cash flow and get assets. It's going to be a part of this great reset, and get your credit score fixed. Because the Fed is raising these interest points again, and it's making it harder and harder for the middle class to borrow cheap money to invest. Queen out.